Good morning, Paul here from Nearest and Places. Today I'm in Bolton. I'm actually in the grounds of Overdale Crematorium, looking for the final resting place where the ashes are being scattered of a comedian. A comedian who started her career back in the 50s in the music halls. Eventually she moved to radio and then finally made the big leap to TV and movies. I'm looking for the final resting place of Hylda Baker. Hylda Baker was born on the 4th of February 1904 in Farnworth, the metropolitan borough of Bolton. She began to perform in the music halls at the tender age of only 10. As an adult, she continued to work in the music halls and teamed up with a male stooge who used to drag up, always mute and always called Cynthia. This was a smash hit, bringing in her own catchphrase as "She knows you know," "Be soon," and "Big girl's blouse." Eventually Hylda worked in radio and made the jump to television in the 1950s. Her greatest success came when she teamed up with comedian Jimmy Jewell in the TV series Nearest and Dearest, which aired in the UK from 1968 until 1973. As Nellie and Nellie Pledge, the bickering brother and sister having to live in the same house to inherit money from the will left by their pickle factory owning father. Their hilarious performances drew millions of viewers in its heyday. Hylda also gave standout performances in several British movies, such as the musical version of Oliver and Saturday Night, Sunday Morning. Another show, Not On Your Nelly, followed to a lesser success. However, by this time, Hylda was showing the first signs of Alzheimer's disease. And after a hit single teamed up with Arthur Mullard, based on the Grease song, You're the One That I Want, Hylda went into retirement. Now sadly, this is where Hylda's life changed. She spent the last few years of her life as a patient in Horton Hospital, where she died of bronchial pneumonia on the 1st of May 1986. Alone and forgotten, her death drew next to no media coverage, and her funeral was attended by only a dozen people. She was cremated in London, and her ashes were placed in a plot used for retired variety performers. She has no stone of her own, but in Twickenham Cemetery there is a cenotaph with her name on it and the date of her death. Now, social media states that she was cremated and her ashes were buried in that plot. But social media can be wrong. I really wanted to go and see the final resting place of Hylda Baker because I grew up with Hylda Baker and I used to love her as a child. I thought that she was very, very funny. As I said, social media can be wrong. After searching a little bit harder, I found some information. And I found that her ashes weren't actually put in that plot. But later in 1986, her ashes were brought back to Bolton where she was born. Because her request was, when she died, she wanted to be scattered on the same plot as her mother, her brothers and her sisters. So I did a little bit of research, made a few phone calls. She is in Bolton and she is in Overdale Crematorium grounds. So I'm about to show you the final resting place where the ashes have been scattered for comedian Hylda Baker. So there we have the dispersal area for the ashes of that fabulous comedian Hylda Baker. Unfortunately, there isn't any stone, there isn't any mention of the family, but this is exactly the point where her mother's ashes were scattered. Now, before anyone comments that it says on the internet that she was cremated and her ashes were buried in a plot in Twickenham Cemetery, they're wrong, because I have 110% guaranteed that her ashes were scattered on this piece of grass behind me, exactly the same place where her mother, her brothers and her sisters were scattered. And I know that for a fact because the ashes were scattered here on the 27th of August 1986. Hylda died the 1st of May 1986 and her ashes were scattered here on the 27th of August 1986. So there you have it. Took a little bit of work, this one, but I got there in the end. And sadly, not a lot to show for a person that was so big back in the 60s and 70s. Hylda may not have a stone, but her ashes have been scattered in a beautiful crematorium grounds. That brings me to a close for another video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell to keep you up to date with any future videos. From me, Paul, at Interesting Places. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.